Hey there everyone, welcome to your very first class. We are jumping into Halloween. I do not always do a Halloween class when it comes to Creative Convention Online because Halloween's kind of polarizing. Some people love it so much, and some people don't celebrate it at all. But I wanted to make sure that I gave you that option because it can be a really awesome time for your business. And this year, we actually have some amazing Halloween paper and 3 stamp sets that are actually really cute. And we have the new Bat Punch. So I thought that this was the perfect time to be able to incorporate some Halloween into our business. If you do not celebrate Halloween and you don't want to celebrate it, you hate it, then obviously you can use these card pieces. They're just fun colors anyway to make some birthday cards or something. I'm excited to see what you do with them, but I hope that you do have the Bubbles and Cauldron, is that what it's called, or Cauldron and Bubbles stamp set and matching framelits. So for this one, you are going to need your blends. We obviously just put the blends on your supply list, and it does take coloring. It is so worth it. This is an awesome class that you could do. A card class, they could make 2 of each card. They could just make 1, and you could include the stamp set. They could just use your framelits there if they want to. I always liked people to, or they can hand cut. I think sometimes we get so caught up on stamp sets that have matching framelits thinking that we have to have them. But truthfully, these were all hand cut. When Michelle makes things, she doesn't like to necessarily get up, so she will hand cut things. Or you can cut them directly with your framelits. It depends on what you prefer. So when you get your supplies, they will all be in a bag, and we separated the cards out. There should be a piece inside. You will have 1 big white quarter sheet piece. That will be for you to stamp your little witch girl, for you to stamp your cauldron, and for you to stamp your little ghost guy. The rest of the pieces are all done for you. Oh, and then you can stamp your Happy Halloween and just cut that out. So there's a piece of scrap white in there, and that should be in everybody's bag that you'll have just for some scrap white. So let's just go through each card, and I'll give you just a little bit of tips on them. I'm not going to make them from scratch because these are great card class cards. So card class cards are good when people can just sit down and make them. So for this one here, obviously all your punching is done for you. I loved using our garden green ribbon, and the galvanized steel buttons can be used for Halloween as well. Green is definitely a Halloween color. This stuff, so you're going to stamp the cauldron, and you can use your framelit to cut it out if you have the framelits, or you can hand cut it out. And then you're going to use your blends to color that in. If you have the paper, you can also run through the cauldron on the paper. It's kind of cool how some of the framelits work with some of the paper as well. So there's that one for you. It's super easy peasy. And if you don't have this stamp set, then you can obviously stamp just something else on the oval as well. This one was actually, I made as one of my swap cards too because I loved it so much. The Gorgeous Grape is a really perfect purple for Halloween too. We did put a little bit of Wink of Stella on this little ghost, so we stamped them, and then this one is popped up, so it has a little dimensional. It pops up. There's no ribbon on this. I love a nice flat card. So if you're going to make some Halloween cards, this is a fun one to do. Halloween is good not just for kids, but it's good for adults. It really is fun. One of my customers, her name is Karen. She's a customer, so she's not on here. She literally celebrates Halloween all year long, and she'll send me like her money for like her retreats and classes and things, and I get them. It's always in a Halloween card, and when I open it up, she always has like black spiders that come out at me, or black little bats or something. So I love getting her cards in the mail. They really make me laugh. And I have learned I have to open them over top of the trash can because things pop out at me that I don't know are coming. This is probably my favorite one. By the way, these were all designed by Michelle. Michelle obviously works right with me. This was the one set of cards that she designed, and I think she knocked it out of the ballpark. She did such a good job. This one is stamped with our Memento black ink, colored in with blends. And then this is our new embossing folder. If you have it, I hope you do. If not, you can use any embossing folder you want. But I cut it to 5.5, so I cut it a little bit longer because when you put it through the embossing folder, it shrinks because it's this really corrugated look. Now sometimes you might even flatten it out a little bit because it might be too corrugated to make it really fit what you want it to fit. I love the new bat punch. So obviously I punched it once and then I was able to use one of the bats here and one of the bats here, and then you actually have another one that you could have used as well. So there's that one, super fun. And then this one is just a really sweet Happy Halloween with the little kitty cat. Again, we color them in with the blends. If you don't have the blends, you could use colored pencils. You could use your blender pen with a stamp pad, but this is just what we suggest. I sell the blends like hotcakes now because I use them. The kitty cat and the cauldron are a little bit easier coloring, which will obviously take a little bit of time. So at this class, I would probably only do just the 4 cards because there's a little bit of coloring using your blends. And last but not least, this one, we did stamp that Happy Halloween and then cut it off, and we just hand cut those out and then glued those down. And that's pretty much it. Pop these things up on dimensionals. You want to make sure you put a little bit of a ground. Let's see if you can see that. A little bit of ground for the cat to sit on. Sometimes when we stamp things, we have them hovering in the air. We want to make sure we kind of ground it a little bit. So there you go. I hope you enjoy your first set of make and takes, getting us into the spirit. If you're going to schedule a Halloween class, do it right now. You can do it anytime in September, anytime in October, really, up until the last week. So you've got a lot of time to work this class into your schedule. Now, maybe your schedule is already full. Then you can add on this class to add a retreat. You can add on an optional class. You can add it on, like, say, a bingo night that you're doing. They could come early and make their Halloween class. So if you already have your calendar full, then this could just be an add-on that you're doing. So the 2 recommended pricings are to include the stamp set, and they get to make, they include the bundle. They get to make the 4 cards, or they can choose just the stamp set. Or I would just charge just the 4 cards would be $20. And of course, if they get the stamp set, then it's only they could charge like $26. So it would make sense for them to get the ones that include the product. That would just be the better deal. All right, there you go. Have fun putting them together.